Hi P's and G's, we wanted to keep you informed as to what our plans are for how we're going to start meeting physically together in the building over the next few weeks. And our planning and thinking has been informed by your feedback from the recent survey, as well as what we are following in the guidelines from the Scottish Government and the Scottish Episcopal Church. In a moment, I'm going to explain what we're proposing to do, but I want to begin by saying how we would love us to do this. I was reminded last week that as the church, we've been given a great commandment, a new commandment, and a great commission. Unlike other institutions, pubs and restaurants and shops, schools, businesses, etc., our calling is to reflect the character of God in how we act towards each other and those out with the church. So whatever we do, our activities and planning need to be characterized by love and grace and mercy and kindness, patience, compassion and generosity. We'll make mistakes in this. After all, none of us have been through a global pandemic before, but please let's be gracious and kind to each other. So under the current guidelines and following your views as expressed in the survey, what are we proposing to do? Well, firstly, we propose continuing our online services on Sunday mornings. Lots of you have commented how much you've appreciated them over the last 4 months during the lockdown. They're not perfect, but they have been the best that we've been able to do. In order to serve those of you in particular who feel understandably anxious about coming back to church, as well as serving the virtual members who've joined us over the last few months, we're going to continue to offer online services on Sunday mornings. However, in addition, we want to offer some small physical gatherings on Sundays. These will be limited to 40 people, as this is the total, if you take out clergy, musicians and welcome team, that we're allowed under the Scottish Government guidelines under Phase 3. Given that around 1,000 people call P's and G's home, you'll immediately see that that presents something of a challenge. But we're going to ask you to register online for each service so that we can manage who comes to what. There'll be 2 gatherings at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Sunday the 16th of August, with an additional gathering at 8 o'clock on the 23rd and 30th of August. In addition, we've heard how many people, including me, have been missing sharing and communion together. So we're going to offer communion on 3 Wednesday evenings, the 19th and 26th of August and the 2nd of September, again at 8 o'clock. Now, all these services will feel slightly different to what we normally do in church. There'll be no congregational singing, for example. They'll have a quiet, reflective feel as we reflect on what God is saying to us during this unusual time. Hopefully, as we leave, we'll do so with renewed faith and a sense of God's presence with us. As I say, these services will feel a bit unusual. There'll be physical distancing. Our seating will be 2 meters apart, albeit in households where possible, and you will be asked to leave and arrive by different doors. In addition, we will retain your contact details for 21 days so that we can follow the government guidelines on trace and protect protocols. During communion, the clergy person leading will be wearing a visor to serve the bread. We're not allowed to give out the wine at the moment. The bread will be a wafer and will come to where you're sitting. But our hope is that as we take these small steps, we can do so safely and expectantly, asking God to meet with us and to speak to us. So we'll post another video update later in the week, which will give you a feel of what to expect. And then booking for the first Sunday and the first Wednesday will open this Friday afternoon through the Church Centre app. If you do get a slot, please don't try booking in for a couple of weeks, but allow other people the chance to do so and come to the physical gatherings. We recognise too that for a church that values our children and young people really highly, these gatherings will not be very child-friendly. Because of this, Rachel is planning some different gathering times for primary age children and their groups in September, which we'll tell you more about next week. Nate and his youth team are also planning meeting times for young people as well, and more details of those will follow soon. So it's a start, listening to what you've said in the survey and what we're allowed to do under the current restrictions. Again, if we can help in any way, please do get in touch. Otherwise, hopefully, we'll see some of you fairly soon. Thank you.